Hello, Gardeneer. Welcome to another garden interview. I'm here today with Don Kapot, where you get to know our artist better. First things first, I want to know, where does the name Don Kapot come from? Because I see from your Spotify bio, it says, as their name says, humor and slight self-irony play a healthy role in their music. So I'm just curious, because Kapot means a bit broken as well. So is there a correlation with that?
Well, yes, I will go back in time where we were named for a little bit Los Capoches,
Okay.
and Victor loved that. So, not really actually. So then he preferred to do it, to go for literal and rename, and we came up with Don Kapot.
Yeah.
It was a joke actually that happened in the studio this day. We were looking for a name.
Does it have
When we did
anything to
our
do with like Don Quixote or something? Or not at all?
It's a bit of maybe the combination of being a rebel and with the high energy that we have for ourselves, Kapot, after we play, and also we break down the plays a bit, maybe volume-wise and energy-wise. Although we pump it full with energy also, so that's the positive side.
Okay, yeah, great. And I saw that before Don Kapot, you all played in different projects. What made you want to create Don Kapot? And how did you guys meet and decide to create?
Yes, I played with Yotis in Afrobeat band called World Squad with Ogene Kolobo, who is like a guitar player and bass player who played with Fela Kuti. And also I played with Victor before in different bands. And at some point Victor and Yoti came together and they wanted to do something kind of Afrobeat inspired in a way, I think. And then they asked me to join, and then it's shaped into this like more complex mix that is not really Afrobeat anymore, but has a lot more influences to it, like punk and other stuff.
Thanks. Yeah. And how long ago was that you guys met?
I think it's been almost 7 years since we
Okay.
It
started.
was November 2016,
November 2016.
our first concert. So
Yeah.
maybe that should be a couple of months before
Yeah.
the first meeting.
Yeah. And where did you get your inspiration from for Don Kapot? Or like, yeah, if you have like any specific artists or bands that really inspire you?
I think we all three have different bands, and for sure some in common that inspire us. And when it comes down to create the music, of course it always changes because it's been already 8 years we play together. But I don't know who to name now. Maybe Deerhoof also, because now Greg Saunier co-produced the album with us. He mixed and mastered. Okay, I'm not saying Fela Kuti is a bit overpast the time, because we are not going really to that direction anymore. Although our first album, it's more like inspired from that kind of Afrobeat and Ebo Taylor, Orlando Julius and Elio Hendrix kind of, I would say. But I don't know if you guys want to add something on even another.
Yeah, like Afrobeat, but more in general, African music inspire me at least a lot, and those rhythms are a clear influence to our music, I think, in combination with some more krautrock bands and punk things and even more poppy things. We like to put a lot of influences in the same energy, but yeah.
Were you all raised listening to these type of music, or really that inspiration is really just when you started playing, became musicians, let's say?
My parents listened a lot to rock music from the 70s and mainly 70s, I think, 60s. Yeah. And when studying music, I went more deeply into the jazz, and now I'm rediscovering actually more the rock and Jimi Hendrix and those things, the raw energy from there. I love it. Like, I don't know about you.
I mean, I think what came from my parents wasn't maybe not exactly what brought me to playing this. I don't think so. But I think when I started playing music, I really went into jazz like very quickly. Like I didn't go through this rock phase that a lot of musicians go through first, and I actually turned towards more rock stuff later. Yeah, so raised with it, I don't know, but like, yeah, I mean, I kind of like shaped my taste in music from the beginning that I started playing music. Actually, like it transformed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And what about you? Yes.
Yeah, me, I was raised with Greek music, certainly a lot, like rebetiko or even like modern Greek folkloric music. And then I went into rock and punk when I was a teenager. I discovered rock, and then all my friends were punks because punk came to Greece like 20 years after normal times in the 90s. So I assisted to a lot of punk concerts like GBH or Killing Machine, I don't know, and a lot of Greek punk bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my beginning, let's say.
Nice. If you could open up a show for any artist, who would it be and why? Maybe you all have 3 different main artists in mind. Let's see.
Oh. Open up a show for or play together with? That's a different question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
So you can dream big on that one. Maybe you can be a live orchestra.
No.
Like
Artists that they're still living or
yeah, dead or alive. Yeah.
dead or alive?
Yeah.
Dead or alive. I would say George Clinton and the Parliament.
Excellent choice. I mean, I would definitely, it was like kind of brought up when we were talking with Greg Sonier, who mixed our album, that we were like, hey, if you ever look for a band to open up on your European tours, we'd be like super happy.
Yeah.
And he said, oh yeah, sure, good idea. And then it didn't get there yet, but maybe, hopefully,
Maybe, yeah.
I would be
Little reminder.
really happy about that.
I think that would be indeed a great match to surf on in energy for a long while, but in a different form. So I'm also dreaming about that, actually.
Yeah. Your music is based a lot around improvisation, right? So how does it look like when you guys have like a jam session, or how is your creative process like?
It's quite a garage band composition, I would say. It's like we are gathering and we jam, and then we keep ideas from the jams. We talk about it, we analyze them, and when we all 3 agree, which is a bit rare, we keep that aside and we make the album or we make songs.
Yeah. So I guess communication is very important to make sure that you're all on the same page and happy with the sounds, etc.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. How did it go for the recording of I Love Tempo? And
Maybe
how
someone
long
else
did it
answers
take you
that.
to? How long did it take you to create that album?
To create, pretty long, I think. Like to create the material.
No, but in this, like, how do you studio? We were in the studio for like a week or something, 5 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
but we created, of course, the music before.
Yeah.
Which took us pretty like many residencies in a cabin in the woods, just playing as loud as until the point that the neighbors went to complain. And then we found the material, and even some songs we weren't sure in which form they would appear on the album. So we tried some of the forms in the studio, and then it was the first time we went to a real studio, so we were excited. I mean, as Don Kapot, because the other things were recorded by ourselves, and so we had someone helping us out with, which was great. So for the first time.
Amazing, yeah. Do you guys know American Horror Story, the series, or not?
Horror story or
American Horror Story. If not, then I won't ask the next question.
I've heard of it, but I don't know it.
Okay, no, because there's your song TV. There's the bass that's kind of reminds me of the theme song of American Horror Story. But if you don't know it, then no problem. But yeah. What is your favorite song to perform and why? Of your own, of course, of Don Kapot. And why? Maybe you all have a different one.
You have one? Do you have a favorite one?
I'm thinking
For me, I think that would be Dur Dur, actually.
Okay.
It's one from our second album.
Yeah.
And it has kind of like a, I don't know, a crowd punky vibe to it. And there's a lot of freedom. It's like there's not really much material. It's a lot of improv.
Yeah.
So it's always like very unpredictable where it's gonna end up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
me, I would say I love tempo.
Yeah.
I mean, I love playing. I love tempo because also it has all these different parts and it's also a lot in the feeling. If the feeling is right, then we can get it right. So
Yeah.
I like this challenge.
I can't come up with a song that I like the most, but I like the feeling of creating on the spot together a song. Like in our first album, we also put one song that we improvised on the moment, and now we have this side project Don Kapot where we also more improvise on the moment. And when that locks well, I have a great feeling,
Yeah.
like
Nice.
composing on the spot.
Yeah. Do you ever, compose? So like when you play live at a live gig, did it ever happen that suddenly you just went on full improvisation and just came up with something on the spot, or do you never really do that live?
There's parts in our song that have some space for it, and
Okay.
we certainly use them.
Yeah.
But we could do that more. I think.
Yeah.
Like
We used to do that before a lot more
Yeah.
than we do now. Now we're much more sticking on our own or the material and the songs. I mean,
Is there any reason why this decision was made?
maybe we have too many songs. I don't know.
and I think the reason why is that we don't want, at least we don't only want to be called jazz.
Okay. Yeah.
So we want to broaden up our audience also by not sounding as a jazz trio. So
Yeah.
which is a bit how we started. I mean, the jazz influence was very clear. So it's also hard to. I mean, it will still be there, but we are trying to check out more composed material to also exchange our roles amongst each other, like like me playing a accompaniment part for Yotis and vice versa, and so that's a nice new challenge actually.
Do you think that living in Brussels has influenced your music a lot? Because I see that from in the Brussels music theme, there's a lot of these jazz bands or mixed with electro. So it's all very similar, and you guys all know a bit each other. Because I remember I interviewed Chow Kennedy, and they all said how yes, it is that, but there is not much competition, so everyone is open to just share ideas. So, yeah, do you think being based in Brussels has influenced Don Kapot a lot with the previous?
It certainly influenced Don Kapot, but if I have to talk about myself, it influenced me a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it opened me up to many things that, while living in Greece, I didn't have the opportunity to be exposed.
Yeah. That's
On like even Afrobeat music, I didn't know so well. I mean, but I got to know it when I went to Brussels, and not a lot. All improvised music too, I got much more familiar with when I was in Brussels because there were many people doing that, and
Yeah.
so it's a crossover. How they call it? It's a crossroad, like a crossover. How they call it? The city to expose yourself into many different things.
And you being Greek, would you ever consider maybe bringing some Greek sounds into Don Kapot for like a future project? Would you would be willing as well to have that?
We did sometimes.
Yeah,
We
okay,
have some
great.
stuff. Yeah.
Sick.
Although Greek folk music is not really my speciality. I mean, I know it as Greek because in Greece everybody knows the songs. Like
Yeah.
you grew up with this. Don Rebetic, we have a song, but this is from Victor. Yeah.
That's great. Do you have a favorite venue to play in from all of the gigs you've done so far? Is there one specific venue that really, like, that you really guys enjoyed?
I would say un peu in Brussels.
Okay.
It's a great place
Any reason why?
because you feel home and because the people who have it are great, and there is a certain atmosphere vibe that you don't find so often.
Yeah.
I remember very well a place we played in France. We were doing a tour in France, very DIY tour, and we played in Amiens, in a place called L'Accueil Froid. L'Accueil Froid. It was a pretty legendary experience. It was really intense.
It's my favorite to play, but
I really keep a good souvenir from that one. It was very. The audience was very much in, how do you say, in line or with us. You know, like they were,
with the vibes.
yeah, they were
the vibes were
completely
there.
going for it. Like,
Yeah.
pretty amazing. Yeah.
So what when you play live, what sort of crowd is your ideal crowd for Don Kapot? If you could define a sort of feeling or anything.
Well, I mean, it's always a lot nicer when we play in front of a standing audience, for sure. Like, sitting audience is a lot more difficult
Mhm.
because we like to really feel the reaction of the audience and get back the energy we put in. Otherwise, it's like kind of one-way traffic. And yeah, I don't know. We like to make people move. I mean, it's not maybe always the most easy music to dance to, but like kind of like that's the intention we have is like to make people move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about it.
Nice. Would you ever consider collaborating with vocalists on some of your songs? Because it's only just instrumental, but have you ever thought about maybe featuring, singers?
I would love to actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like I love like a lot of the sounds of Wazulu singers like
Yeah.
Umusangare and Nahawa Dumbia.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like but we can also, it would be great to just think out of the box, maybe an opera singer or I don't know.
Anything, yeah. Okay.
Like it would be a challenge to play soft music with Don Kapot, but so maybe not. We've done it.
We did a collaboration during Corona. We did like a few live stream videos in Ampe, which is the venue that he was referring to. One was with Fulco Otterwanger, with which we released an album actually from this streaming. One was with Bert Dogs, and the singer I'm referring to is Kaito Wince, who is like a Burkina Faso
yeah.
griot, and yeah, he's an amazing singer. Like, really love his work.
Okay.
So we did this, yeah.
Yeah, so you're open to do more collaborations.
Yeah,
like that.
definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. And I'm curious to know the artwork behind I Love Tempo. Yeah. What is the inspiration behind, or who made it?
Yeah, it's me. I made it actually.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like basically fucking around with some stuff I found at home, and yeah, tried out some stuff and then let my fantasy go wild.
Yeah. Was it the first time creating like artwork for an album, or is it like a thing that you do?
I
on a
don't
regular
do this
basis?
a lot, but I just made a cover for my solo project. I released an EP in January that I did the artwork for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to make artwork. I used to make like posters a bit for the band at some point, but it's not something that I'm like doing a lot.
Okay, so yeah, it's just like a little side hobby from time to
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Mhm.
nice. So yeah, you mentioned you have a solo project. Do you also work in other bands aside from Don Kapot?
Yeah, we all don't do work in
You
other
all
bands.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you guys manage to be able to then work on all these different projects? Because is Don Kapot your main project, or do you have other bands which you would, what's the word I want to use? The word isn't coming to mind, but
It's also in periods in like if we dive into a new creation or in rehearsal recording with one or the other band, and so then you are in this bubble. It's nice to be like for a period in the same band to really concentrate and feel this atmosphere the most. Like
Yeah.
not shifting one day to the other and one day that would distract me. But it's nice to focus for a certain period on one band. I think.
one thing, yeah. Okay, Nice. Before we pass on to the I can't talk. The fast-paced questions. It is a difficult one, but I want you guys to give me one word that would best describe Don Kapot.
Fun.
Honest.
Distraction.
Nice. All right. Up to the fast-paced questions. Favorite season?
That's not
Yeah.
fast-paced.
Yeah.
Autumn.
Summer.
Summer.
Tea or coffee?
Definitely coffee for now.
Tea.
Coffee.
Dogs or cats?
Both.
Dogs.
Dogs.
Country or city? Countryside.
Countryside.
Greece.
Yes, countryside or city? Yeah.
Countryside. Yeah.
Countryside.
Sweet or salt?
Salty.
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 Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Or early bird.
Night.
Early owl.
And finally, performing or recording?
Performing.
Performing.
Performing in front of an audience.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, that's everything that I have for you guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This was Don Kapot. You can rewatch their show. And just a sweet reminder that we are non-profit, so if you'd like to donate, you can do so via the links in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our videos. This was Don Kapot.
Thank you.